welcome everyone who's on the stream. Hopefully it does stream. That is a great question. It does stream. Alright, we're good. Fully unlocked profile. If your opponent does not have a fully unlocked profile, it will say that in the lobby before you begin. If like anything shows up, you just ping me here, as opposed to like even if it like pretty much any problem, just ping me. If even it says open a ticket, like if it's an anti-cheat message, you also ping me, so yeah. Right. Alright, we should be good now. Oh, you're technically not first because I was here before. Alright, let's start this thing. I am deafened in the Discord, I know that. Alright, let me just do this. Welcome. Let me just...
Thanks. How's the sound on your side?
I'm gonna do all the things and stuff. That is... so I do this thing. I do this thing. Let's begin it opened. And let's bump the Firefox up. Alright.
Are we live?
We should be. Let me just kinda
Alright.
find out of balance. Alright. I should say. Alright, let me find the game. I already know which game we're doing. It's going to be this one. We're starting off with the classic at this point. It's gonna do that. Just hope it's not that bad. It's gonna be a classic at this point. It's going to be Nightmare on game 1. Alright, let me just bracket and actually end the stage. Alright. See ya. I need to do things. Twitch.tv/Bellagio multiplayer. Alright, we're still setting up. Still waiting for... That game is the only one that's inactive, which is pretty concerning. Alright, but let's see. Got some coffee, so we should be chilling. Alright.
Good. How was the show up for this tourney? I haven't been able to look at the bracket.
There were
players.
There are 23 players, I believe.
3 players?
23.
Oh, 33. That makes more sense. Hey, Not, how's it going? Will you be commentating today as
Alright. I'm gonna be commentating here. I'm going to... It's all me today. Alright.
All right.
So let's make this, let's appear this. Not much is required for today, except this is gonna be yours truly. They are going
Green Chi is going on a trip, so it'll be me and Lava today.
Slayer. They're going against Slayer. Alright. So let's do a classic. I'm actually
Are we
not
able to do predictions as well?
Yeah, if you actually remind me on it.
Chat, don't let Lava forget to do predictions today because I'm trying to get some points.
Alright, prediction. Because we actually didn't do the last tournament. Who will win? Nightmare versus Slayer. Got it.
The Slayer must be more of a fresh face. I'm not familiar with them. I'll have to look up their history there.
I also have to look up their history there. Actually. So we know Nightmare is 645.
Slayer being the underdog at 194 MMR, but
Ooh.
only 5 games played. You never know. We've seen crazier stuff happen. Nightmare is a very strong opponent. Here in this first round, very entertaining to watch. And yeah.
Okay. Oh, did they message request me? They did. Okay. Okay. I actually almost missed it. Should be getting it up now. How's the music? Getting a good old. Okay. Close Discord. Close Discord. Close Discord. Close Discord. Close Discord. Close Discord. Do not dare.
Me?
No, me. Hello, Nightmare.
Okay.
I'm like, it started lagging. I know this.
Oh, Queen Chi, miss you too. But we'll have to catch you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, tuning in. All right. So Slayer having 194 with not a lot of stats there. Nightmare is definitely the favorite here. And playing on checker deck. Ooh, that is a good beginning to the game. Alright, so
Everyone's first gold stake.
everyone first. I think my first gold stake was painted or something.
Painted.
I just
Painted's a classic as well.
it's just painted ghost checkered, a classic combo. Alright. Checker deck, you can get a bunch of deck fixing just kind of done for you. That is a negative showman.
Negative showman is very
What?
speculative.
Oh,
I'm
start.
not taking that personally.
Yeah,
We've got the
no.
Tarot Voucher, pretty strong option. Both players going for the ambitious Constellation.
That is.
Will they be able to both afford the Tarot Voucher?
The Tarot Voucher is pretty good, especially in multiplayer when you need to deck fix. You need to deck fix a lot, and this is the way to do it. There was also Fibonacci offered that shop. And actually Nightmare did take the Fibonacci.
Nightmare not going for that Tarot Voucher, but 2 very strong cards right off the bat. Fibonacci very good for the first PvP. Business card good for generating econs. Slayer playing more of a long game here.
Yeah, business card, you gotta get the money. You gotta get the money somehow. Business time is... I like business card a lot more. It is 1 and 2 for $2 every time
sure.
you play. That is a foil Jimbo. Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
pass on that.
red seal right off the bat.
And it's on the
Nightmare,
queen
very happy to see
too.
that.
It's also on a
That
queen
doesn't get much
too.
better than that. So if I'm Nightmare, I'm probably looking to run a flush house with 2 fib cards and the queens. Slayer might have a hard time beating a blind without some kind of plus molt.
Oh yeah, there's just
May
the
even be worth
the
picking fortune
constellation,
teller.
which is at 1.1x, which is not that strong, which is definitely Slayer. Slayer does have a business card, so it also allows you to get some econ for those planets. You gotta buy some planets to buff up the constellation.
And 3 flushes will do it for Slayer. Nightmare definitely looking to take his first PvP with the Fibonacci.
Oh yeah, Fibonacci is just good. If there's any retrigger as well, that Fibonacci is popping off, but there isn't real retrigger besides that one red seal. But Slayer's now
I
is now
think
also. Oh gosh, did it?
Slayer might need to see like a Mr. Smiley or something to really get some retriggerable plus molt.
Jimbo. Interesting play. I'm not entirely sure. Trading card is bonkers. I did not think you sell your
Ooh.
econ, but you kind of have a bunch of econ as well. You, oh, you have a golden joker, then yeah, it's fine.
And Slayer opening that standard pack last might have held on to that business card had they opened that standard pack first and saw the red seal queen.
Oh yeah, the red seal queen is definitely what the nightmare's strong card here. It's also a heart, which transitions into bloodstone pretty nicely.
Oh, already with the flush house.
Flush house queens and jacks. I mean, yeah, you got the power to it without pretty much any deck fixing except for that one red seal queen.
We take purples all the time. Never can have too many purples. And
as we've seen,
see if I'm Nightmare, it looks like.
As we've seen by Pizza Power yesterday, you can never have too many purple seals. I believe.
Right.
Alright, Gelato. Cartomancer. Cartomancer is one of the weaker tarot gens in the game, just because it is capped at 1 per round. Burned Gaming. Burned Gaming question mark? That is very important. Slayer also does not hit the timer. I want to believe that's the deliberate move, but I don't think it is. High Priestess into Earth and Asteroid. And it looks like my Discord is having some issues at the moment. It says connecting. Okay, we're back. I have no idea what's happening to my Discord. It just says connecting. It just kind of crashes out randomly. Alright, what we got here? We got the flushes, we got... What we got here? We got flushes. Slayer does get some scoring up because of that Draw Joker, but you're not every single hand is a flush to get that plus, I believe it was 10 molt over there. Nightmare finishing off with almost a 15k. And
It'll be close, but I think that Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare's got it.
This one.
Alright. Emperor? Judgment is just pulling the next Joker from the shop queue. It's not that important.
And that's the third time we've seen the Tarot Voucher show up as the Anti's Voucher. They really begging for it to be chosen, but neither player is spending the $10 for it.
Taxes, interesting. And that is actually an 93 voucher too. Come on, just it is good. Just pick it up. Come on.
Just pick it up.
Come
We
on.
need to
Hit
copy
Varro.
those red steel queens.
Wait, hit Varro question mark?
Just
Yeah,
got red seal.
yeah, that taxes is gone. Slayer saying of a burned gaming. Looks like he's considering it.
Burned gaming, a bit dubious unless you're running a high card build. I think that in single player you really just need one hand that's really good, and a lot of times that's a flush 5 or a flush house, and so you're not going to get that value necessarily all the time with Burnt Joker, but it can at least protect against asteroids, bare minimum.
Oh yeah, burned
You
gaming.
get a flush level up. It's not bad.
Yeah, burned gaming on checker deck is pretty famously pretty good. Because you can just draw a
Hadn't
flush.
considered.
I'm not sure if like I'm not sure what's going on with Discord. I think it just like randomly cuts out for some reason. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we're having here. Alright, oh, here's the taxes that Nightmare got from Judgment. You pretty much never pick up the taxes.
Tax is really bad. Hoping it gets some kind of buff in the future, but right now it's just...
Taxes should just be +5 mode every time your nemesis steals any card that includes a consumable. It's like a campfire that works on your opponent, except it's for plus mode. So
I agree, and if it was that strong, I would worry about people just sitting and waiting out the timer to get as much plus mult as they can to beat the blinds, but you know, just I don't like that mechanic. I did have a game today where I had an opponent stay in the first big blind while I made it to PvP for their penny pincher value. I mean, I respect the play, but at the same time, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, it's just like you cannot some people just like to milk their opponent for pretty much anything. But it's still plus mode that KOs pretty much, and any X mode is already just strong enough.
Pizza Power glazing taxes here. Digimon saying taxes is
Honestly, that's respectable.
Pizza Power.
I believe that was a glass card polychrome. I have unfortunately missed it. That is a magnet.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not entirely. We have to take the magnet. Do we actually?
You have to take it, save it for when a really good rare pops up. You know, kind of gauge where your opponent is at the shop.
Yeah, because the opponent is behind.
Good.
I'm also not sure what this magnet will be copying. Somebody who knows the sell values better can actually tell me, but it might be the banana.
Well, the Cavendish had a $3 sell value. I just saw Slayer looking over at their cards there. So I think it's a 50-50 shot between the two uncommons, or I guess a 1 and 3 between uncommons and the banana, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think, yeah, +3, +2. No, golden is also +3. Golden costs 6. So it might just pull the golden in as well. So there are a bunch of options here to copy. Nightmare picking up a loyalty card instead of Cartomancer. That's beneficial for future, not this PvP, however. This glass ace of clubs is taunting here. Nightmare's definitely gonna play for that head road. 1.5x, not exactly the strongest play here. Not exactly the strongest hit road we've seen. That only times 2 mult.
Hitting that flush house is going to be a lot, but will it be enough? No, it will not. I think Nightmare is playing a long game with the speculative magnet. Going to have loyalty card next.
Alright, that is the driver's license. I mean, interesting that Nightmare passed up with the driver's license. Usually it's just worth it.
Sometimes it... Yeah. it is good in a in certain situations. I think that it can take a while to get online in some seeds. I don't think that either player has a ton of the enchanted cards, but I mean, we just saw another 2 pop up for Nightmare. Personally, I might take that.
And yeah, it just Slayer is behind in the shop, and here's the magnet. So Nightmare can have a pretty good glimpse at where in the shop queue Slayer is. Just that is another addition to glass card. What the heck is this? This seed is actually cracked. With a freaking negative showman as the first pick. That is a vagabond.
Ooh, Vagabond. I'm taking Vagabond every time, unless it's the last life. It's just too good, especially when you've got a red seal. You can clone it a whole bunch of times with the depths. You can get temperance value. You can get all sorts of good things with that Vagabond. Nightmare considering selling the trading card. Although the Showman is a bit dubious because, like, what am I looking to get again with the Showman? Maybe another loyalty card, but how are you going to set up 2 loyalty cards? I mean, unless someone in the chat knows if a loyalty card, when you pick it up, if they're on the same, I don't think so. I think it would have to be...
I don't know. I don't know. It might be different. I actually don't know this. Never have seen this sort of interaction. And it's definitely, it's not difficult to check, but it's just such a weird interaction that nobody has seen before. Magnet is shaking. For Slayer, the magnet is copying either Hit the Road or Vagabond, I believe.
Vagabond, there we go. That is going to be good for Slayer, but Nightmare would get another Vagabond. Seeing that Slayer had sold the magnet, I think Nightmare has a choice to make here.
Well, yeah, it's almost like an invisible Joker for Nightmare now, because Nightmare is gonna copy, it's just better, it's gonna copy either Hit the Road or Vagabond. Actually, Slayer's selling the Vagabond, so never mind.
Oof. Goodbye, Vagabond. That makes me sad.
Okay, no, we're back. We should be back.
Good.
And also it unpins the message, which is annoying.
Maybe the one case for the 4 fingers, like one possible case for the 4 fingers would be a speculative seance, perhaps, but not so sure about that.
Seance is interesting. I think you here on Checker Deck, I don't see the point of 4 fingers at all. It's just
it's
really weird. Oh, that is a foil blackboard.
Blackboard for Nightmare.
I'm
taking that. I'm trying.
You can take that, yeah. Right, you can take that instead of,
because you really just need 3 spades in your hand, and then the rest could be, hearts for whatever you're playing, and that's pretty reasonable to be getting.
Night Slayer not hitting the timer once again. But come on.
Nightmare probably going to be selling the magnet for this.
That
is a rough.
That is a nerve-wracking for Nightmare. And okay, he gets rid of Vagabond.
Vagabond.
Oh, it was nice having him for that bit.
Oh. Can we get some F's in the chat for the Vagabond?
All right. Well, now you got the 2 pair here. Oh, that is a Jack. That's why. Well, Jack, and we have the foil blackboard value. Those are 2 foils. Slayer still has the gelato. Actually, that gelato is... Actually, that is a new gelato. You gotta get it renewed.
Nightmare with their loyalty card hand. What will they be able to play? They've got 2 discards. They're going to want to get blackboard value. could be a bit tricky to get those stronger hands. Playing a high card for the
Loyalty
loyalty
card.
Very unfortunate situation there.
And there is the glass, the foil glass that Nightmare is getting from the standard packs. These standard packs have been blessed. And honestly, I'm still surprised that the Red Seal Queen does not have any enhancements on it. I mean,
No enhancement.
It does give a more smiley face value, but that's just an extra 5 mode, and that is enough to get Nightmare over the Slayer's cap of 25,000 over Slayer score. Clearance sale. Both become this clearance sale immediately. Spectral back.
Oh, onking the magnet would be a funny play. I might onk the blackboard here if this were me. I think that just having 2 easily set up ×3s might be better than everything else going on here.
Oh yeah. Hit Road has not had any use lately. That might be out of the door, but I also might be hating. Slayer's copying the Constellation. Technically,
I like that play.
Technically, a misplay.
First,
You need to hex first. That is technically a misplay.
That is sad.
You hex first, so it's polychrome.
That would have been a free ×2.25.
All right, here's
running into smiley face again.
All right, here's the foil smiley face. Slayer is behind in the shock you, and now noticing the smiley face. That means a blackboard is coming.
Looks like Nightmare might be stalling for that magnet, trying to get a better possibility.
Just pop a magnet. It is technically a possibility for Nightmare to he might still think it is a hit the road, but honestly, it might not be. That is the Vagabond that Nightmare picked up, and that Slayer got from Magnet, but not very important. Passing up on the retriggers, there are no retriggers here that are getting them with Seltzer. Though I guess Smiley Face is that kind of guy. Here's a purple seal. That Nightmare, it feels like Nightmare picked up ages ago. And Nightmare's now passing through just passing through the blinds.
Nightmare very ahead in the shop. Slayer with that Constellation double scaling and the blue seals looking pretty good here, to be honest.
Because I absolutely hate Discord. Why cannot make you have a stupid app optimized? Why cannot? There's the foil blackboard. There is the foil blackboard.
With the ×9 molt, that is going to be insane. I think Slayer just needs something like a smiley. Does not have a smiley currently. Something that can re-trigger some plus molt.
Oh, yeah. To-do list is interesting in this part of the game, because I think this is usually the part where if you had a to-do list, you gotta sell out of it. But it isn't high card, so you can get a lot of money. But are you going?
Oh, that's gonna be the blackboard. High roll for Nightmare. High roll for Nightmare. That was very.
That was a 1 in 3.
Good timing there.
No, I think it wasn't. I think blackboard is just the blackboard. Yeah, blackboard's just blackboard. Blackboard is just blackboard.
That'll be the difference for Nightmare in this PvP. I think without that, Slayer was definitely looking to be the favorite, but at this point, I would have to give it to Nightmare.
Well, yeah.
Nightmare can get good value out of this loyalty card.
Well, yeah, you have ×4, ×3, ×3. That is ×36.
but that is not going to be enough with the 125, unless that didn't have a blackboard trigger, but I think it did.
It believe it does. That is a 125.
Oh,
Yeah.
not enough.
Yeah,
One more loyalty
Slayer
card, that
is
would be...
now getting to 200,000 consistently, which is very scary for Nightmare to see. Because that is the constellation from the very beginning of the game, offered in the first shop.
And Ankh, that was very good. Imagine if Slayer had actually hexed before the Ankh, we would see a 2.25 hex
Yeah.
on top of that.
And, well, the two rares, the 4 of a kind rare, the family, and the Vagabond showing up. More deaths.
Death for the queen there. I think the family, you just have to take it over the hit the road, and that might make Nightmare's deck quite a bit better here. A lot more X-Molt than what Slayer even has.
Yeah, but Slayer's gonna outscale it pretty soon as well.
Yeah, those blue seals in the constellation value, Nightmare might need something very good here. Nightmare being ahead in the shop, though, definitely opens up a lot of possibilities to see a Dusk or an Idol. And getting to that first would be quite an advantage where there are 2 lives left.
I think technically Nightmare has more firepower just from these glass cards, but Slayer's also getting those glass cards as well. So it's just like a matter that if you find a retrigger to have your X-Mode on and just get a bunch of glass, I guess it's actually only like Seltzer that is applicable in this scenario, because these are, I believe, a 7, an 8, and a 5. Seltzer is pretty mandatory. Seltzer is pretty mandatory to retrigger those glass cards. Yeah, pretty much. Nightmare has the loyalty hand. Just sending it.
We could also see a Dusk here for those, but pretty unlikely to bank on a card showing up. We just have to... If I'm Nightmare, I'm hoping for Ancient Joker and Idol.
Ancient Joker, Idol.
I might even take a rare skip if I'm Nightmare.
I don't think you take a rare skip pretty much in this point in the game. It's just way... None. It's just way worse than playing. Chariot is interesting.
Yeah.
Chariot, you can Chariot the Red Seal. It doesn't matter what your Red Seal is. Actually, your Red Seal is a heart. But that's what the world is for. That's what the world is for. So yeah.
Man, those are some fat constellations on Slayer's side.
And I believe Slayer is in the same time. Nightmare, am I cooked? There is... It's looking pretty even, I have to say, from both sides. If we can see a good loyalty card hand from Nightmare, that could very well be the push that they need to win this PvP. Ah, Nightmare, you're getting the Perkio once again from me. Yes. Yeah, those constellations are doing a lot of work. Those are times 4.4, times 4.4, and then times 3. And I'm looking back into Discord. There are a billion pings.
Nightmare going to Chariot the Queen of Hearts. Will Nightmare also put down the world? Looks like they're thinking about it.
Alright, let me just awkward pause while I am checking to my Discord for upcoming matches. But yeah, Nightmare just kind of has to bank.
The Red Seal still making a difference there.
Nightmare deleting, but yeah, no. Well, Slayer still has two hands. It is possible. It's just these blue seals are getting in the way, and there is not much blackboard value. Well, most of the scoring is coming from constellations, which you can still keep buffing with blue seals. So definitely just getting constellation value is better than getting blackboard value.
I think card sharp is strong consideration here, given flushes are so common.
Yeah, that is an extra ×3 on Slayer's side. But the thing with steals is that these steals are all just kind of this one.
Campfire.
Technically, this one red seal steel queen is equal to that hex that Slayer misplayed. Just assuming Nightmare draws it.
Oh, and Slayer going with the campfire, that is hype. But can Slayer sell any of the planet cards? I don't think you can when you've got two constellations. So Slayer will have to focus on selling tarots. A bit dubious, but I believe we've seen a clearance sale.
That is
so
true.
That may help out.
That is a clearance sale. That is a clearance sale voucher redeemed for both players. Nightmare is thinking on a campfire. Personally, I think the only difference is loyalty. The difference is loyalty card. Loyalty card is ×4. I mean, I think I'm not thinking about multiplayer here. I'm thinking about normal base game. Normal base game, campfire is better than loyalty. I think here you gotta keep a loyalty card in.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think if you can get your planet cards high enough, then the Smiley becomes irrelevant. Versus the extra X-Molt.
Well, Smiley is becoming a bunch of plus mode, a bunch of base mode, so you don't need to get your planets that high. Only $15. That's what it says.
Only $15. And does Nightmare have that clearance sale that would really assist? I think Nightmare has more flexibility as far as selling the planet cards versus Slayer, who can't. But Nightmare not going for it, not banking on that $15 to really carry, even with the double. Yeah, the liquidation.
The liquidation, yeah.
Very helpful.
Liquidation makes the campfire scaling off of.
I forgot.
Yeah, liquidation just makes the campfire scaling off of tarots and planets pretty much free. It's just free times 2.5.
That is very good for Slayer, who has an enormous double constellation.
Double constellation is
that
just
times 5 point something.
That is a times 5.6.
Goodness gracious! Once that campfire gets a little fatter, I'd be scared to be Nightmare.
Oh yeah, it's just now Slayer has an option to choose between the temporary X mode, which is campfire, or permanent X mode, which is constellation. And I think we're at this part of the game where we know that this is second to last ante, best case scenario. The best case scenario is is so that we can get maybe a little bit of constellation value, but now you just kind of get both. Doesn't matter which consumable, planets or Taros, you just sell them in the last ante for a big campfire. And that's how you win this.
Yeah, I think Nightmare is not looking to be the favorite in this particular PvP, but I think what Nightmare needs is for something to show up in the shop queue. Slayer has caught up some in that shop queue, but Nightmare just needs to maintain their lead and hope for something very strong like an idol, because Slayer is really catching up with that constellation value.
Alright, getting the glass card, to get the Polychrome glass card, that's 13 million. I don't think we have seen a mime on the Slayer side in the shop just yet, which would benefit Nightmare quite nicely with steals.
It's like Startoad once said, stones have hands, and that's what we're seeing here with Slayer punching up at Nightmare. Quite the underdog story here, and only 5 games in multiplayer, still able. Ooh.
Oh.
That's what I get for sleeping on Nightmare.
Yeah. All right. Is that a GG? That is a GG. Holy.
GG.
What a game.
Well played. Well played, Slayer and Nightmare. It's a good game.
Good game. And once I there are actually on the side, I'm just gonna set up 2. I'm gonna do a little bit of a thing here. I'm gonna set up 2 games, seeing which one responds.
And stay tuned, because we might hear tomorrow who is participating in the exhibition 8-ball tourney. Personally, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, you'll find out one day, one way or another, as I like to say. We're probably gonna hear from Dusty on that.
And if you're not familiar with the 8-ball exhibition tourney coming up, we will have 8 coaches coaching 16 players in Stone, and they'll have 2 weeks to get these Stone players to be polished and ready for a tournament.
Well, but this kind of Stone gaming.
I'm going against Not, says Nightmare. That is exciting. 2 great players by their own right. Any word back from the next gamers?
Alright, I have like 2 games set up. Which one should we see? Alright, let's actually just okay, thank you for reminding me, chat. That was very helpful. Nightmare has won.
Plus stint, there are 33 people in the tourney.
Nightmare won here, yep. Alright, we got a game. That's okay. The first people that have responded is sadly not Nightmare's opponent. I was setting up 3 games at once. So that's fun. BTJ SP. Nice. All right. Okay, now I just need to... Okay, so... So this is... Alright.
FCHY.
I guess I'm just gonna type it out as it is, and however you pronounce it is on you.
I'll say F-Chai. I may have that wrong, but F-Chai against Strawberry.
Yeah. Okay. I had 3 games set up. Good.
Right, what deck are we gonna see here?
It looks like yellow.
From F-Chai. Let me look up the stats here.
It's Fitchy. Okay.
Are those
it's
Elo numbers?
It's Fitchy. No, this is still the old one. Just
Fitchy.
okay.
Fitchy with 167.
Alright, so
Strawberry.
167. I think Straw
With 669.
is ranked higher. So yeah, that is again a high rank versus low rank. I kind of want to see a bunch of these games this time, because as much as the Nightmare game is hype, Nightmare is going against Not right now, which Not is 697. I want to see a high rank versus low rank, because sometimes this kind of stuff just happens. So yeah. Let's begin. That is a little problem.
Oh, right off the bat, we see the Sock and Buskin.
Okay,
Mustang.
1 second, we're a
Personally,
little...
right here, I'm taking face
No, we are restarting this game. They are on single player. They have to...
no.
Because the game bugged sometimes if you're on the first profile and you're playing single player, it just does that.
Goodness. Well, rip to the Sock and Buskin.
That is an amazing start, though. Sock and Buskin...
It can, it doesn't really carry the early blind so much, but it can carry the mid-game econ and, you know, just pair it with so many different things. It's wonderful.
Alright, it's a little bit setting up. I cannot change it myself, that's the thing. I'm going to ask for choice to log me into the multiplayer, because I cannot just every time I set it up, it just sets every time a stream crash, it just sets it back.
Yeah.
Alright. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulties here.
Bob
yeah.
saying Fitchy clears I guess we'll see. Definitely the underdog. Perhaps we can get a prediction after these technical difficulties resolve.
All right, yeah, that is very interesting. All right.
JB Vaughn putting the house on Fitchy.
I believe
must
they're
have a lot of
known.
fans here.
I believe they're known. Yeah, they are known. Just kind of remembering from their staff app. Because we have a lot of people from Smash and Mario Kart. Those are like the main two sources of people. That is not that is a weird way to say the sentence, but
No, we did see Hungry Box stream Bellatra a few times and play some multiplayer.
well, yeah,
Hopefully, you might even try a tournament.
maybe.
Strawberry not even hesitating, taking the rare skip, but Pitchy not going for it. That could be huge for Strawberry, or it could just be something not so good. We will find out very shortly.
All right, so the tribe here and the riffraff. Riffraff is pretty good ROE. You just get instant jokers. It's also an econ joker. Oh, Strawberry's keeping for the rare, and it's a blueprint.
Oh my goodness! High roll.
Okay, we're done here. Goodbye.
Extreme high roll. Double hallucination. Riffraff to fill in the blanks. That hit. Oof.
It's gonna be one of those games, huh?
That is just nearly impossible to come by when the blueprint can copy econ, can copy your scoring, your xmul, just anything. The strongest card in the game other than idle. Oh, Onk. Oh, no way. We're going to see an Onked blueprint. Goodness. You cannot ask for better
Oh my
start if you're Strawberry. Just going to be obliterating these PvPs.
Okay, what the actual heck? That's not gonna look back. That is a double blueprint, of course. What?
So, all the Fitchy, all of the Fitchy fans in the chat are malding right now. GG next game. Lol says not playing well.
GG next.
Brutal. I want to see another game.
Oops.
We'll just have to see how high that, Strawberry can take this.
Yeah, I guess. I actually don't remember who keeps getting obliterated by who got obliterated twice by a rare skip. Was it Fury Trigger actually? Because I do not remember, actually.
I mean, let this be a lesson to everyone in the chat that if you see a rare skip in the anti-1,
yeah, the strat here is just wait for to see what your opponent does, and then sometimes it was you. Okay.
That's also very valid.
It was you. Okay. All right.
Fitchy breaking a Gross Michelle to potentially become a Cavendish.
And we're gamblers. We're gamblers. Yes, but you see so much. Okay. We're gamblers. Oh, this is officially named a Joker now. We're naming it to We're Gamblers now. All right.
I wonder if it'd be optimal for Strawberry to put one of the blueprints onto the scary face or not.
I have
Not
no
quite
idea,
sure.
and
I'd have to do the calc on that.
I do not want to. No. It's something probably like yeah. And of course Discord
Can
crashes.
Fitchy actually pull this off? Oh my goodness. One life for Fitchy is going to be huge. But Strawberry with a very strong way to outscale.
Nightmare.
Different spectrals. I wonder why we see different spectrals there. Did Fitchy perhaps not take up one of the packs?
It might be. I'm also missing the spectral shop. The spectral queue is misaligned. Assuming all the mods are correct.
Interesting.
Because we're just kind of assuming that. Blueprint brainstorming $101, but oh gosh.
Oh, what? Was that a game crash? Is that Fitchy's lifeline right there? Oh my goodness, folks!
It's anti-tomb. It's technically anti-tomb. It
is anti-2 and Fitchy with the only lifeline possible given that start from Strawberry.
Oh my gosh.
To see it. What is with all of those Balatro shortcuts? Well, anyway, that does it for Strawberry.
It's technically not past anti-2.
Oh, I thought anti-2 was...
If you disconnect after the first PvP blind.
Oh, so that was right on...
That it was on the PvP. Goodness. This is like this fine edge where I am not entirely sure what is here.
I think that we saw Fitchy beat the first PvP, but yeah, it is right on the edge there.
That is on the. That was like.
Table, perhaps?
So Fitchy went into the PvP blind. They did go into the PvP blind. Let's actually see what the stream says, like what the replay says.
We might need an instant replay, frame by frame, to see
no, well,
where that was left off.
I think no, it was. No. Wait, was it the? I'm trying to understand where
the PvP blind had been finished, at least in terms
of
the
PvP
score.
Blind have been. Did it?
Like Fitchy had won the PvP blind, but Strawberry hadn't quite cashed out.
No, it actually they did cash out. It crashed in the small blind anti-3.
Oh, there we go. Unfortunate, just barely crashing out with the double blueprint, the best start possible, and you hate to see it, but we gotta draw the line somewhere, I guess.
It crashed in the small blind anti-3. PvP blind anti-2 is replayed. Small blind anti-3. PvP blind anti-2 replay is actually very abusable, but I just kind of gotta run it.
Too bad. Hopefully we see Strawberry in this next tournament in the NA, if possible, or just next week, because, you know, you always gotta want to see a comeback, but Fitchy making it to the next round by the looks of things.
It's actually Nightmare who crushed it, I swear. This is actually Nightmare, so we can see his game.
Nightmare's fault. But I would like to see Nightmare and Not two very strong players.
This is for a freaking reason, boy Nightmare.
Now, I heard we saw a lot of crashes in the EU tournament. Was that the case?
Yeah. Alright, so, oh, nice.
Quadruple Baron, this
nice.
is insane.
What the heck of a seat I just walked in on?
Man, if we see a mime here, we might see E40. Like, this would be such a crazy mime game.
Is that the big J? Alright, let's just do a single. Screw it. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Nightmare.
Nightmare, this game sucks. I don't know, Nightmare. I wouldn't say this game sucks. It looks like you have a quadruple Baron.
I have no idea. Let's see if I can get... Yeah, I think not just closed it and whatever. I'll just watch Nightmare perspective. Because crew viewer engagement. The prediction is going to be refunded here, don't worry. It's gonna be refunded. I am not counting that.
Nightmare. Yeah, that's fair.
I'm refunding that. That's too late, I refunded it. If
get
it's
that extra 100,000.
a crash, I'm just gonna refund the game. Alright, so...
enough there to move on.
You got your money back, don't worry. Alright, so we are seeing... let's remove the loading circle. Alright, so quadruple Baron and Bull and 77 bucks. Isn't this incredible? Isn't this incredible? We just won mine, we won steel, that's what we want here. You know, that...
and the Bull really carrying the chips.
The Bull's got the chips. The royalty got the moat. Alright, so, this is going to be pretty easy, I'm saying. If not, you know, it just shows a loading circle, so screw it. We are not seeing the single, pretty often, so we might as well see the single. Perspective. That is a black hole. That is a sun that is an emperor. Looks like Nightmare is looking to get those kings gold, which is honestly fair. Pair instead of plutonium, that is interesting. Does pairs...
Yeah, a little harder to hit.
Pairs a little harder to hit. Does it scale better? I don't think it scales that much better.
Yeah, that both getting +1 molt and a certain amount of chips. Now pairs getting a little more chips, but definitely a little harder to hit consistently than a high card. Plus, when you fill up that hand with kings, and you'd rather play a high card than you would pair. Looks like Nightmare gonna diversify a bit. Oh, level 5 on the high card, not bad. Is he acrobat?
Acrobat? No, no.
Not going to be better until that those chips are just higher. I think that.
Yeah, currently Bull, you just won the Bull.
Yeah, until the Bull is, I guess, not 3 times as much chips, then eventually at that point. Something like Aqua would be better, but we're definitely not there yet. Nightmare sitting on $102. That's a lot of money to sit on, but when the Bull is just that valuable, it's basically like a is it a race car? What's that? I'm blanking on the name.
Where? Thank you, Nightmare.
I love Balala. Thank
Who's
you,
excited?
Nightmare.
Thank you, Nightmare. You know what? Oh, actually, the ball.
Genuinely one of the best.
You know what?
Watch,
Well,
put
you
it
know what
on
has
a
to be done. That is so relatable. Thank you. Yeah, put it in the shirt. Actually, Nod is taking his time here. We're not sadly seeing, but it's probably very similar. But let's just see what happens here. Baron is boring? Honestly, true. Honestly, true. Why? Okay, this is like a weird bug, but for some reason, Baron is. Oh, right, it is. Wait, what? Huh? $338? How are we getting 338 exactly? How are we getting this number? I'm sorry, but on the Joker display, let's just see if it works. Okay, it should work. You should be heard.
It makes you wonder if Nightmare is running the same thing, if Nightmare maybe took one less rare skip, or oh, it looks like Nightmare is running the same thing and barely beats out.
That is
Sorry,
not. Yeah, it says Nightmare on the top because it's Nightmare's perspective. Pick up a paintbrush. Paintbrush is very beneficial here. I have Magician here. Having good old Todoist. A photograph is.
Photograph.
It's not that important.
Not.
So are the boots. I know we have an urge to take the boot, but no. Just do it.
Yeah, if we had a red seal face card, that photograph might act as a ×4, but until then, just not good enough to justify anything.
But until then, literally having on a king get going for Baron is the play. Here, Raised Fist is interesting. But, You still want chips right now? You still want an acceptable amount of chips for your bowl to be on? Oh, it's 3.387 rounded up. Okay, yeah. I guess it's just 2 decimals. Right, that's how math works, right.
5 million. What was that jump for Nightmare that they weren't able to get it in the PvP? I'm having maybe they had the tower card or something. I am not sure.
Yeah, rounding gaff is here. Yeah, okay, makes sense. Alright, let's continue. There is a red seal, but it's a 4. It's pretty far away from being a king, all things considered. I think, yeah, it's just a better draw. We're getting 4 kings on average.
Getting that high card up high will allow for the bull to be dropped. Now,
it is indeed a high card.
My game seems to be frozen.
Is it frozen? But let's see how the stream. I'm just gonna. So it says it's running, but I'm not sure. Do I need to redo the stream, or is it good now?
It still seems to be frozen on my end.
Okay, 1 second. OBS. Gamble question mark? Oh.
Gamble. So This is an interesting play because we saw that the chips were about 115, so that bull is acting just like a times 1.5, but gamble has potential.
Potentially, that's yeah, times 4x mode. Always gamble. Yeah, I agreed. We gamble here. Oh gosh, I swear to God, Discord is just. Alright! We're doing it! We're doing it! We are doing it! And here's the asteroid that not probably saw here unless there's highly synced in the shop, but I do not think so. And Discord is back up, I swear
Fun fact
to God.
about Let's Go Gambling is if you subtract out the opponent's money, then the expected value is about $1.80 per hand played.
Oh yeah, it's 1-4. No gambling proc here. That's Baron boat. It's a Baron boat. That's very consistent.
Will Nightmare hit a Let's Go Gambling? Oh, not that time.
Maybe this time.
Not hitting a single one of those Let's Go Gamblings could be very hurtful. Oh, one more shot. One more shot. Come on.
High card.
Opting to play the Empress Jack
It hits.
instead
It
of
hits.
the Queen. I wonder if that was better. And hits the gamble. Let's go.
Thank you, Nightmare. Thank you.
That might be enough to beat our Nightmare here.
All right, let's see how much not scores.
Or sorry, not.
It's definitely hard, yeah, with this layout, sort of. That is 132 mil. Oof.
Nightmare giving the GG one life left. It makes you wonder what Not has.
Yeah, so much. Could be some retriggers because it was on the last hand. So it might be some retriggers that we haven't really seen. Yeah, I gotta be worried. Lucky Cat? Question mark? Oh gosh, with a steel scholar, I do not know if this is a steel or a scholar. Turtle Bean. Now the question.
Does to be frozen on my
Oh
side.
gosh,
I'm not
this
sure if
is.
it's my internet.
It's probably my internet or Discord just being Discord. I believe it's just Discord being Discord. Let's try one thing. If it's gonna be like I'm just. If it doesn't work, I'm just giving up. Alright, that is a turtle bean. If this. Does this. Is this.
I'm taking that turtle beam. That is an enormous value on the turtle bean.
Yeah, you gotta
With
get the
chariot and
kinks.
the fool. Ooh.
Oh, your kinks. It's gotta be worth more than times 4 on the gambling. You know, 1 in 4 for times 4. It's definitely worth more. We're running Baron, so it's definitely the play.
Really, the only better tarot that you can see if your Nightmare is a death to copy a Steel King, but that Chariot is a close second, debating using a Temperance, deciding not to do it to try to get more value. Now, there may have been a case for skipping to the PvP round. That would be a bit greedy, where you don't have enough kings to really fill those bean slots.
You gotta get. Alright, there's a Chariot, there's a Fool. I believe Nightmare had a red seal that he'll want to Chariot. Devil?
Oh, you gotta watch out if you use that devil. Oh, maybe Nightmare is.
I am
going
not
for the
sure.
death.
Maybe Nightmare is just greeting for the dev here. That is pretty greedy, but that would make sense. So 5.06 is also rounded like 5.0 something. Yeah. I'm just like seeing a number that is not divisible by 5, and that is what's throwing me off. That is a kink. You take a kink. Not is already on the PvP blind, while Nightmare is gambling. Taking the Hangman. Fair enough. Looks like he's gonna discard the Purple Seal. I mean, this is not the PvP blind just yet. But yeah, this is also...
Ooh, that plus 50 chips is not bad. Definitely not bad. That could be like a, I mean, high card at 85. That's like a, I don't know, times 0.25-ish.
Alright, Nightmare's just now speeding. Because the timer is not doing anything. Picking up Mercury? 4-pointed blocking. That is a death.
Ooh, and
This is
the
a death.
That will be huge on the Steel King.
Death is pretty good. Strength.
I'm not going strength here, no matter what. Yeah,
You're
you could
deathing.
make a couple kings,
You
but
could.
You
Strength, but
need to
you're
death.
deathing.
The
You're deathing the seal.
just need to death.
You're deathing the seal. Your queens can become kings later. Yeah, you can always strengthen them later. You need to death. You're just deathing.
Ooh, what a greedy play. But at the same time, you have to think, if you're Nightmare, that does give you the potential to get 4 new kings. Now, they're not going to be steel, certainly, but that is something to think about.
I mean, it's pretty much the... I do consider this, like, a minor misplay, like... Because, technically, 4 kings versus 2 steel kings is the same value, but 2 steel kings condense the value into a single card, into 2 cards instead of 4 cards.
But what you have to consider is with 4 barons, the king value is going to be greater than the steel value.
That is correct. That does work for a single baron, so strength is the play here.
Strength greater. And
Because you have
Nightmare
4 barons, yeah.
proving me wrong there.
Yeah, I also just thought not...
Taking the lead.
Yeah, that is 6 billion. That's pretty good.
Making you wonder if not, will run into the bean if they haven't already.
I am not sure. Not has been speeding through the blinds. They might not have any money at all.
Oh, that plus. Oh, that is a very good skip. If I am Nightmare, I'm taking that skip and I'm keeping my bean, and I will take that +5 into the next round with as many kings as possible.
Skip PvP blind? Question mark?
Skip PvP blind +5 with all of the kings. Will not do the same. Are they both on 1 life though?
I believe so. I wish so much that they would see the screen, but alas. Yeah, you just take the 3. The best play scenario is of course the double tag, but alright.
Might have misplayed.
You have bigger hand size than last time. But you did not get the deck fixing. You did not get the deck fixing for those kings for potential deaths and stuff.
Let's see, we've got 12 kings. The normal hand size is 8. The boosted hand size will be 13. So you can get all 12 of those.
It will be
kings into the
14.
hand.
It will be 14. There was a paintbrush.
Oh, there was a paintbrush. There you go. So that gives you a little bit of wiggle room.
There is 14. Not just finds a bean now. I think Nightmare is cooked. I mean, this is quite a play, and I just want to see the chat logs because they were chatting quite a bit.
If Nightmare sees a bean, then Nightmare doesn't have that +3 hand size voucher, or sorry, skip tag.
I think it started off with a rare skip too. Just kind of see, like, looks at it. They are ready for PvP Nightmare. Check the logs, thank
Check
you.
Logs.
Thank you, thank you,
All
thank
right.
you.
Yep, I was able to read all that.
Yeah, that was, yeah, we're fast readers, we thought we read everything.
Kidding.
Start the damn blind Nightmare. Thank you. Alright, we have the same exact hands. No fucking way. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. This is like a borderline. This is borderline glitching at this point. I mean, that actually. This is borderline glitching.
Dude, and when you see something like this, all Not has to do is do the unstuck option, and then they will be able to get back into the PvP blind. We'll see how that works out here.
No, they're both in PvP
Oh
blind.
my
Okay, we're
goodness.
good. We're good. We're good. We're chilling.
Not getting that bean for sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of score. Nightmare's got all these kings too. Alright, 5 billion. I think the deck fixing wins over.
Ooh.
Alright, I think I know what the timer PP blind actually is caused by now.
That is a very close hand. That is about the difference of 1 king or less.
Alright. I think Nightmare drew pretty much the entire king hand. Not sure if he has. Okay, that is
11, I
E11. Okay, yeah, Nightmare.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
yeah, alright.
Wow.
Are there still
Both
kings in the
players.
deck?
I want to say there's one more king, if I recall correctly. I want to say there were 12.
Yes,
but
there
right now it
are
looks like
more
Nightmare
kings,
holding
but
11.
yeah, and that is not the final knots.
Ooh, and barely wins.
That is not the knots even final hand. Now, these tags suck. Seltzer is not worth it. Ever.
Very
Bean is all
little
but
value.
but it's just. But Bean is like dead too, so. Yeah. Seltzer sucks, but
Sell for new bean. That's
you
the
can
play.
new bean. The seltzer could have been a bean block for all we know. All right. Nightmare's doing the play here. I am honestly going.
Taking the seltzer.
I am taking another king. I personally despise Virtualized a little bit for adding this texture because this is not what Seltzer looks like in the base game and it doesn't have a reason to exist in here at all. Bungler is interesting, actually. Yeah, he got Bean. And he might be skipping here for the PP blind. Bungler is interesting, but you kind of want the Bean. Otherwise, you're toast. Oh, right. Right.
Oh my goodness.
How many hands is that?
That's so many hands.
3, 6, 9,
let's
12.
see.
That is 16 hands.
Oh my goodness. So much money. So many, of course, points. You could play your entire deck and then some.
Yeah, it is 16 hands. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And just not doing anything until you find the perfect setup. This is a perfect setup for the blind. You just draw your entire deck, and then you can win on demand.
Nightmare hoping to see another queen, but
Well,
already having enough to fill up the hand with kings.
well, you can always discard those kings. You have a bunch of them in the deck. It looks like he doesn't do it, and just wins.
Unable to discard without with the burglar.
Yeah. What we need bean.
Need bean.
I'm like,
That's right.
yeah. All right. This is probably the last PvP. I think this is the last PvP. This is this is anti 8 voucher, so this is the last PvP.
Makes you wonder how many bean.
This chaos gives you literally like the only chance to find bean. I believe how much bean is I believe if you solve a burglar, take the chaos, and then
sell the chaos after the reroll.
Reroll, solve a chaos, you'll have just enough money to buy the bean.
That is about a 1 in 500 shot that you find the bean. Personally, I don't like those odds. I would rather have a burglar and hope that my opponent's bean would have been whittled down.
Oh, they probably skipped to the PvP blind. Alright. So, this is the gameplay. Also, Nightmare is not timered, so... So, it's pretty fair to assume that not skipped here.
I could sit here till he crashes, says Nightmare.
Nightmare, I'm going to time pressure you.
3 a.m. for me.
I am going to time pressure you. I don't have all day.
That's right. Start the clock.
Just call the timer. There should be an AFK timer in this game. You gotta make up a decision.
I'm starting a stopwatch right now as we speak.
Come on. Come on. Sorry, chat.
Sorry, chat. Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare Time does sell the burglar. Oh, doesn't get anything for it.
I don't think Chaos is compatible with
I mean,
thing.
Money.
All right.
Nightmare losing out on so much value. That's going to be about a times, you know, with that many hands, that would be something like a times 10.
Oh my god, no. No fucking way. No way.
Nightmare totally stalling for a minute and 2 seconds.
I think they are out of the PvP one. Their opponent isn't the PvP one.
Oh, gotta do the unstuck option.
Nightmare stuck outside PvP.
Does Nightmare know to do that? We will find out.
Also, okay, I can get like a punch into Nightmare because I know I can do that. I'm just gonna because this
Oh, there we go. We are in it. E11 is a hand to beat.
okay, I'm gonna count the glitch to disconnect. Yeah, okay, it reset everything. It resets the PvP. Yeah. 139 E11. That's what we saw. So, were there any more hands? I don't think so. This is the last PvP blind, so it's fine. What the what the joke? What the So yeah, we're just gonna see here. They did have no hands, so 139 E11 is the final score here. But Nightmare is not even coming close to it. Yeah, there's just absolutely no way. Yeah. No, it's just winning this.
Nightmare did need Bean, it does turn out.
I am not sure we're going to see the end screen for this. But not wins here.
It does make you wonder, had Nightmare used Death on those Steel Kings, which strength did help in the short run for sure, but if the Steel Kings had been multiplied, would that have been enough? We would have seen 2 more Steel Kings. I guess it's at times 2.25.
Yeah.
Will he not actually?
Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, GG. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, that's a game. Yeah, that's
Nightmare
GG.
with one of the highest scores I've ever seen in Belantry multiplayer. E75, getting the mine and completely pulverizing.
May scare you if I mime.
Too bad we will not see another Nightmare game this tournament.
Alright, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, look at that. There's the mime.
There's the mime. Incredible. Holy. Oh, we don't have any game. And there's Varen. Varen mime. Yeah, Nod just had the same setup that Nightmare had last round. Yeah. Nod had the bean, so. And 12 hand size, if you want to know. So, incredible. Yeah, and incredible. Alright. Average Balatro end game. This is a mean. You can score. Alright. GG's. Brainstorm! GG's. Blueprint copying nothing, SMH. Thank you. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, more Barons?
Oh, Troubadour.
Oh, Troubadour, that's right. Alright. Alright, we should continue now. Not.
Oh, that is Perkeo.
Oh, right, Perkeo. Ah, right. I'm like, I've seen this person. I I've seen this before. Right. No, Perkeo is only here because Perkeo is only here because I'm been Perkeong Night, but sending Nightmare Perkeo stuff. We got everyone. We got everyone here. Thank you. Where's Cryptid? Alright. Alright, we're moving on to round 3 after forever. Oh gosh.
Good night, Nightmare. Thank you for the good content. It's always a pleasure to watch you. And we will set up for this next round 3. Any good games out there, Lava?
There are 2 games starting. I'm just gonna send both of them question mark. So yeah, and after that, Kings, of course. Yes, maybe.
And while we're setting up for the next match, I'm going to get started on a coffee. It is quite late where
Yeah.
I am, and I wouldn't want to fall asleep.
I would
Commentators,
also like a coffee, honestly. So whoever wants to setting up 2 games again. Looks like we're just getting everything. Alright, we got 1. So yeah, we're just waiting for the other one. I actually got 1 from each match. I technically got 2. We can technically do a stream, but it's not gonna be a very interesting stream. It's gonna be very confusing because, well, we're gonna see 2 different games, but no. Still waiting for the Pizza Power lost. Actually. Wow, okay. Come on. Come on, people. Oh gosh. Ugh. We're just waiting right now. Like, seriously, there is nothing real much. Oh, Nightmare, you had your time. All right, we got it. Okay. Oof. All right. We can actually do things. We got something there, and we got not. All right. So 3-3-V5. I should not say it out loud, actually. Well, let him cook. Alright. We're seeing it. We're about to see some Inception. So this is 340. Nod is 697. Alright, we're chilling.
All right, I'm back. Thanks for waiting.
Alright, we got Sandfin Bear, also known as Stoneblock and Dot. Alright.
And if anyone wants to see my Kirby mug that I'm currently having my coffee in, I will be posting it on Main. So feel free to check out the Balatro Discord, where a lot of the fun happens.
The Balatro Discord? Oh, or the multiplayer Discord.
Oh, the multiplayer Discord, that's right. I forget, sometimes I forget there's a Balatro Discord. That's, I don't know.
That's how invested
so
you become
invested
into
in multiplayer.
multiplayer, yeah. This is amazing, I swear. This is amazing. I actually do need a mug. I'm just. It's not boring, but I don't. The leaderboard ad. Oh gosh, is Screw you. Disconnects. What? Let me see what is in my. I also just realized I forgot to update the Nightbot, but who cares for this? It's supposed to be pinned, but because we're crashing a billion times, it's like this. Alright, come on.
You know, Knot might be a favorite to win this tourney. Just doing very good against Nightmare, who's also a very strong player. Sen Fin Bar, making it all the way this far, 342 elo with an underdog. But if you make it to round 3, then that means you've had to face some very strong opponents to get there. How many, and I haven't checked the bracket yet. Well, with 33, how many rounds will we have left? Is this a semifinal?
No, I think I don't know where you got 33 from. It's 23. It's 25 actually.
Oh, 23.
We got
25.
we got 5 rounds, and this is round 3. Next one is semifinal.
All right.
So real.
So round 3 out of 5, we are at the halfway mark. Make sure you get some water, do some stretches.
Senfin Brayer,
Fix
of
your
course.
posture, everybody.
Oh, whoops! I'm dyslexic. That's what's happening.
What flag is that? I must have failed my geography class.
Is this a flag even?
Blue, yellow, and red.
It-
I'm gonna have to Google it. Can someone in the chat tell me?
It's like a Chad flag, but it's rotated. Not Chad, Romania, but and Chad too. So yeah, it is a Chad flag.
Let's see. It's not Colombia, so
It's-
it is Chad. Okay.
It's similar, it's just rotated.
Oh yeah, it would be rotated. I'm not sure. If anyone in the chat knows, feel free to let us know. But yeah, that isn't a flag. Says over the horizon.
Yeah, that is not a flag. It's just
It's just Chad, Romania rotated.
you can say that it's like this. So yeah. There. All right. So. Supposed to begin. All right. Senfin Brayer and not. We're good. Change the music a little bit. Let's do. Should we do Rocket League music? Actually,
Oh yeah.
you don't have an option. I only have Rocket League Music, so. Alright, Blue Deck!
Oh.
Good old Blue Deck. So, what you got here? Alright, clearing with first blind with ease. That is a Ramen and a Peridoi and a Black Voucher. Amazing. Amazing start, Rocket.
Whoa.
2 Econ Jokers. Is everything okay there? It might not be, actually. Is everything okay now? I have no idea. Alright, not Rocket. Interesting. Some temporary picking up a big buffoon pack first instead of a small one.
Sorry, my Twitch is working on my phone. I can't seem to get the Discord
It's
one working on my end, but
stupid.
I will commentate from my phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like I can reset it many times, but if Discord doesn't just want to cooperate, then I cannot really do much.
Oh, that's all right. I do see it. Okay, there we go. Back up on Discord.
Alright. So yeah, when just crash, just tell me. I think if I crash, the stream just stops working. Alright, not with an Rocket. Or that is a Polychrome Queen of Hearts. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh, I swear to God. Playing go straight. Not has no scoring, except just having that Rocket, which is getting pretty big, but at some point you will have to sell out of it. Rocket is probably one of my
Cards.
favorite econ stuff.
It is very good, and it doesn't require much thinking, which is why I like it. You just hold on to it, it gets better and better.
Oh, that is a stencil.
Stencil for ×3 paired with the smiley face has got to be pretty good. You can sell the to-do list in the PvP blind to get that ×4 going.
It's fine as long as you sell out of it eventually.
Yeah, definitely not going to be a long-term strategy, but it could very well carry the first PvP.
Alright.
And not just has to take those two. That is going to be the best strat. Yeah, I think Not is going to have to find a better Joker than the Stencil because you can't afford to sell out of the Rocket here.
Yeah, you just want Pacifist is not something that you want here, but alright, getting some more hearts. Honestly, acceptable play. I really enjoy the hearts.
Looks like the Discord stream is down for me again.
Okay, that is annoying. That is mildly inconvenient. And I'm just like afraid that if I open the Discord app, it will just crash the stream. Because that has happened before.
That's okay.
So yeah, we're just gonna keep it like this.
I can watch it from my phone. It just might be quite a bit delayed in terms of the commentary, but
yeah,
we're good.
we could try doing radio commentary, but that's a little bit too much in my opinion. And oh gosh, I need to mute the stream on my phone. Alright, so what you got here? We got some satellite. Satellite. It's pretty good econ, but honestly, I don't like satellite that much. The other guy missed the ball. I think the Polychrome came from Aura. And, oh, not going misprint tech. What does it say in the misprint tech? It says 12 of something. 12 is a queen. And it is the 12 of hearts, the Polychrome queen. We might try to. Okay, this it just. Oh gosh. Ah, we're moving to TeamSpeak. I swear. Just move to TeamSpeak like now.
How do I move to TeamSpeak?
We're gonna do it off stream, like, later. Later. We might. I just hope I just don't get to stream ever again, every single time, and every single time I keep streaming. So yeah.
Yeah.
Or I just like, it's not even a stable internet. It's just something that is not dependent on my internet. These disconnects are not about the internet. They're about other things. So we'll just not talk about it. Let's talk about the damn game. We got Stencil on February side. Considering selling the to-do list 4x4, Stencil Gaming is a very risky play, and it's usually not worth it. It's usually not worth it.
I think if it's the difference between a life, that could be worth noting. I think that Sinfinbrer with the ×4 is bound to take this. I can't see any other way that Not could possibly win against that.
Yeah. Looks like Not is losing a life here, so it still could be anyone's game. Assuming you do find something better.
Definitely Not with the stronger econ.
Yeah.
That Rocket is going to be it's going to be 5.
Rocket is now a 5 banger. No bus.
May want to sell the Hit the Road.
It's
to get that $25 interest value.
Hit the road. I assume you mean ride the bus. That is
yeah,
the only
ride the bus, not hit the road. Definitely
two
different jokers there.
Standstill like seems good, but like it's not good. You cannot support it in multiplayer ever.
Yeah, it will cripple your econ for sure.
There is like actually no way you can do that kind of stuff. Not as getting his polychrome queens of hearts. Value.
Did Sinfinbrer also pick that up?
Alright. Dev. I don't think he has the polychrome though. The polychrome came from Aura in the Spectral pack.
Oh, that's right.
I think he took a blue seal over it. If he even took it at all, that is just a guess, and I'm too lazy to actually check. But yeah, Discord is lagging once again, and hopefully we can just music. Oh, does it start off with like a blunt? Of course it does. Of course it does. This is insane. This is insane. I mean, to be fair, I do not have anything else set up, so we're just gonna keep it as it is right now. Not stream is, I think, is frozen on my side. This is the Discord fold. Okay, we're back somewhat.
Sinfinbrer not picking up any other jokers, definitely falling behind on econ, while Not is going to be heading the shop.
That is just going to be so much better for their long-term gain, especially with those Polychrome Queens that Sinfin Brer does not have. Going to be a tough catch-up game.
Yeah, I do not know what to expect, honestly, at this point from Centenbrare. This is just a stencil run, and it's not very much to commentate on the stencil. Like, it is a stencil.
Hey, Lava.
Hello. Is it working?
Queen Chi says that they finished earlier than expected and they could hop in.
We could do for the finals. I definitely need to take a break. But another thing is, I'm still streaming, and I still have to find a way to get something consistent going. I am going to try to fix things, but this is ridiculous. This is not even like my fault for this. I cannot literally fix anything because on my side there is nothing to fix. It's completely on a third party company here. It's completely on Discord. This match has officially turned into Discord burn because Discord actually sucks. But like, I cannot do anything. That temperance is not very useful. So Centenbrare is gonna give like, I believe it nets you like $1 or $2, but that's as much. And oh my gosh.
But Not has yet to find some good scoring and might just lose another life here until they run into a good Joker. Sinfin Brer really carried by the stencil. But like you said, not the best multiplayer Joker and could definitely hurt them in the long run here.
Alright. Alright, I'm still kind of trying to honestly just set up things so it works. But anyways, that is a minus mask.
Sinfin Brer has one more hand. One more hand to catch up and doesn't quite make it to Knots by like less than 300 points. That is rough.
Yeah, wow. This, even with the stencil, this is just putting how not strong a stencil. Also, can you refresh your stream because it seems like the delay is higher for you than it should be?
Yes, let's try that.
Because like I'm looking at the delay between what is on my phone and what is my PC. It's definitely not that much. There was a time where it was this much. There was a time where it was this much, but it's not this time.
Okay, right now I'll describe what I'm seeing. I see both players on the small blind. Sinfin Brer displayed their first hand.
That is a blueprint. That is a blueprint. Alright, here's a bunch of polychromes. This is the exact same pack. Opting to skip for both. You gotta take the blueprint. You just gotta take the blueprint. Thinking the Terror Merchant is pretty good. Yeah, you're just taking the blueprint here. Alright, that is a Polychrome Gold card. That is pretty good here. Alright, so we got not pretty pretty much set up with
Not leaning hard into Econ with the egg.
with 5-of-kind.
Now the egg might actually defend against a potential magnet catch-up. in the future. I think that Egg sort of gets a buff because of the existence of Magnet, but not having a lot of scoring jokers, just relying on the Smiley. But that Polychrome eventually, with enough copies, can really make a big difference here.
Also know that Smiley is actually the only thing that can be copied by Blueprint here. Rocket cannot be copied, Juggler cannot be copied, Egg cannot be copied. Yeah, so Smiley is the only thing.
Goodbye to the Egg. Ooh, Hallucination. That's a must copy.
Alright, yeah, Hallucination is pretty pog. Getting a Tarot, not a guaranteed Tarot, but a pretty good chance that you get a Tarot. It's a 3 out of 4.
Selling the Hallucination might be an interesting play here. I think it is better than 8 Balls, so I'm a bit surprised by that. Maybe not has a plan there.
Silverbrayer also finding the Blueprint with the and copying obviously with Stencil. This is the only times mode. Having a bunch of plus mode from Shoot the Moon. Yeah, but
I think I might go for Shoot the Moon here just because of how much molt that gives, but you can't take them both because that'll just nerf the Stencil too hard.
Alright, yeah. The Stencil is just not something that you want.
I mean, if you take either the Shoot the Moon or the Smiley, that could be 2 times 3s. Or, I guess, times 2s? I'm not quite sure.
Oh gosh, is it just... Come on. Alright. Getting full house here.
Oh, it is 2 times 3s.
It is 2 times 3s, yeah.
Will those Polychromes... Oh, not quite. Goodness. Symphon really carried by the Stencil. Very interesting. And Not would be down to 1 life if it weren't for just 300 points showing up. And that negative voucher is going to add another bonus to Stencil potentially. For the antimatter voucher to be specific.
Antimatter is times 1 more times. It makes your times 9 into a times 16 on the Stencil, but it's actually huge. And I believe that was from the blank on anti-something. I think it was anti-1, but do not quote me. That is a negative baseball man. That is how profitable it is.
And the Dusk.
2.25x
is going to be huge.
Dusk is giant. Dusk is absolutely giant. Anti-1, oh right, yeah. I remember correctly. Symphon is going to find it and get times 1.5x from the baseball man.
I think that the econ from Not is really starting to show with the Dusk and the negative baseball card. I think that Dusk is just one of the strongest cards in the game with how many synergies it has. Now all Not needs is Photo, Bloodstone and Idol. There's so many different possibilities, and that would really carry those PvPs, especially with the Polychrome. I think that the double triggered Polychromes is going to really boost that score.
Right, yeah, you can get a lot of stuff with Dusk. Dusk is just kind of winner. Symphon Prayer still sticking to the Stencil. Stencil is fine for like an anti or two, but then after that you just need to find a way to sell out of it.
It does fall off. There is no synergy with Stencil other than more Stencil.
Also, the antimatter is still here. The antimatter is still here, and it's a little bit of a on a wax side.
See, I'm trying to get back into the stream, but I'll just.
Yeah. This is just. I cannot. Like. It just won't really help. At all. Like, it just keeps disconnecting, reconnecting. I could try to set up, but TeamSpeak crashed as well. Surprise, surprise. So, yeah, we're just gonna try to get this somehow. At this point, I am not entirely sure.
I can try to commentate from my phone. I hope it's not too delayed for the chat, but right now I see Simfenbrer on the big blind with 3 lives left, 4 hands. Not finding a sock and buskin, huge. That plus the polychrome, I think, really seals the deal for Not. We know that Simfenbrer does not have that Aura'd Queen, and really it's just a matter of time before Not is.
Yeah. It just. Oh gosh. I swear to, oh god. We're at the point where I'm just becoming frustrated, and you can definitely tell that I'm just less focusing on the game and more focusing on my frustration, which I should stop. But the Stanzel is still at ×2 technically, but you kind of have a lot of things.
Not finding a sock and buskin is going to give another 1.5 times to the baseball card. I think the 8-ball is definitely an interesting play. I'm not sure that I've seen any tarots come out of it, but we see the Death and the Fool, which is going to allow for 2 more Polychrome Queens, potentially a flush 5 of Polychrome Queens that are re-triggered with the Dusk and the Sock and Buskin and Blueprint.
Alright, so on the other side, I'm seeing this without much delay.
Which, if we do the math, that is 1.5. Let's see, that's one trigger by playing it. The Sock is another. The Dusk is another. The Blueprint's another, so that's 4 triggers, so that's 1.5 to the 20th power.
Okay, that is.
Let me put that into my calculator for the
Alright.
content.
Alright, we're getting into the PvP blind. We're getting those Death, we're getting these Queens of Hearts, the Polychrome Luckies. And we're getting the 8-ball. Hopefully for a full is incredible.
That is like a times 3,325.
Simfenbrer is again considering to sell his hallucination and drunkard for a good old ×16 mode with a level 2 full house. It's getting pretty good. Not as always like, yeah, Not is just winning the end game pretty much guaranteed unless there's a super brick, but that's not going to happen.
With the stencil and the smiley carried from the very beginning of the game, somehow managing to win 2, almost 3 PvP blinds, but I think that is definitely it for them, as they do not have a Polychrome and they do not have the re-triggers.
Alright, they're drawing the 5 of a kind, not a flush 5. I'm actually not sure what their flush 5 level is. So yeah, let's just see what Nod gets here. 8 million. Pretty good. I think it's going down now. I think the stencil is going down now. There is not much that
There's
can.
no way that.
Yeah, stencil cannot beat there.
Can get to that level of points.
Here's the baseball and dusk, the negative baseball and dusk, once again. So we're So Centenbraer is an anti behind on the shop, which makes sense because there is no econ. Not finding a Chad is bog for more retriggers.
Ooh, hanging Chad is interesting here. You know, that could definitely set up for several other synergies.
You unlock your cat here. You just want the cat. That's pretty much everything. It's just the cat. The cat is like almost an instant win. In a lot of cases. In this case, it is just an instant win. We have a flush fives and stuff. It's just going to proc. Centenbraer
Another
is
death for not meeting one more polychrome is huge here.
Photograph is also really good. You get to photograph
what we're seeing is that Centenbraer needs to hold out in case Not's game crashes. Might be their only out.
That is an actual like thing with all of these crashes. Idle pretty much retrigger X mode is the play here. There's a hit route. You do not need to hit route. Idle, Ancient, yeah. Centenbraer not drawing the Polychrome gold card. There are a lot of deaths on that side. That is actually incredible how many deaths Not has managed to get. From that, a single Polychrome Queen is just becoming a billion Polychrome Queens.
Another death from Not.
It's just a lot.
Centenbraer making it to the Socken Buskin.
Oh yeah, you can take a hallucination. Centenbraer has no econ, which is definitely very punishing. Also getting a death. Actually saying no econ is false, he has the gold cards. But
Centenbraer is still holding on to the stencil. Now it is providing baseball card value, but other than that, not much else. Going to sell it finally.
Alright. Able hallucination. Yeah, that has been a lot of fools and a lot of
I
deaths.
was wrong. It does look like Centenbraer actually has those polychrome queens.
Yeah, there's this polychrome. I'm like so confused. It might come from a different source. So, I'm not entirely sure. It could be the same aura, like at the very beginning of the game, and I just kind of missed it. It could be something different. Alright, not unlocking a flush 5 here.
Okay, let's see how this flush 5 scores for Not. That'll give us a little insight into what that could look like.
Okay,
for
yeah.
This next PvP.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah.
$184 million is the line for Centenbraer to beat.
Oh, not passing the... Yeah, that is unfortunate. Centenbraer finally selling out of the stencil, which immediately gets him to not pass the big blind, getting down to 1 life. Alright, so... Yeah. Deathing a gold king is interesting. Not sure how great this is. Here's the chat. Senfinbrayer selling hallucination, not noticing that he has an open Joker slot. Classic. Absolutely classic at this point. Alright, here is the possibly the last PvP blind.
All right, we're here in the PvP blind. Sorry, just dealing with some technical difficulties, but
This is insane.
looks like Sinfinbrayer is on their last life. I have to wonder if they lost to a blind. when
They
I wasn't
did,
looking,
yeah.
but,
They did,
this
yeah.
could be it for them. If they can't get that 189 million that we saw from Not in the big blind.
Yeah, it's looking. Yeah, it's looking like it's GG's. You can, I mean, shared the seal.
Lava, are you still with us?
Seal, red seal. Am I not getting hurt? If I'm not getting hurt, I am just closing Discord right now.
Sinfinbrayer thinking about putting the chariot on the king for that little extra boost.
You should do it. Yeah. You're on one life, you kinda have to win this, but not like you will. Here comes the here comes the big hand. Yeah. Alright.
Let's see, even bigger of a hand right now at 345 million is just GG's. And Not will move on to round 4. Not flexing their 8-ball, which basically did nothing that game, but definitely flexed
Definitely flex with 8 ball,
their
yeah.
opponent with that 8-ball.
Alright, that's a GG's. Alright, we are waiting for the next game while I am we are waiting for next game, which is going to be
Right,
not
next up we have the semifinals. We are going to have to queue up some new players.
yeah, the other semifinals are happening, so we're just waiting on the game to finish. Which I guess I do have Burr link, so we can try to set that up. It's just Discord actually crashes.
All right. I can hear you again, Lava.
Okay, this is stupid. I'm gonna try to do a thing, but if it breaks, it just breaks. This is very risky. Adam. All right.
was the deciding factor in that match.
Let's hope. Let's freaking hope.
Who are we looking at for our next two lava? Any
We're going to
any matches
see
coming?
not. Okay, there we go. We're gonna see not, and whoever wins Shadow and the Vietnamese name that I cannot pronounce.
Oh, okay. Maybe King of Nothing. Is it Hutrix, perhaps?
No, it is not. Hutrix is in the top, and they are fighting against Monkey. All right, Shadow won.
Monkey and Hutrix. Shadow wins. All right, Shadow versus Not.
All right, so we're getting Shadow in. How is the stream now? Does it work? Is it better?
Let me just sure.
Because all of that streaming, like last week and right now, until now, has been done through the browser.
Well, I do see the stream right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it stays up that way.
Um, 6:11, I believe. All right. It definitely would not disconnect, but it might just kill the quality. This is the problem I am envisioning. We're good though. Alright. We're good for now. But just hope it stays that way. I'm not going to touch anything now.
Shout out to Troubled Times, a good friend of mine in the chat. And Picasso, you too. Jesus, a very good player. Jesus, were you in today's PA tournament? I was hoping to see some games from you as well.
Let's start a prediction.
Yeah, prediction for Not versus Shadow, both in the 600 ELO.
You know, you can come over. I want to take a break. Go ahead.
We should really have like break cycles when we're planning out what's this
Yeah.
our commentary things.
Yeah.
Totally fair, yeah. 3 hours.
Yeah, but well, I am here to cycle in for lava. So, hi guys! If you guys don't know me, Queen Chi here. Had to step out for like the first few bits of the tournament, but then I guess I'm here casting. Is it the finals?
We are at the semifinals right now.
All right, got you. And looks like it is a game between Shadow and Not. I caught a little bit of the Not game a while ago. The what's this? The negative baseball card. Oh my god, that was glorious. That was hella glorious.
Yeah, and we saw Negative Showman earlier. Unfortunately, it wasn't influential, but those negative cards can be very interesting, especially when they're rares.
Definitely. So, either way, it looks like another good afternoon for what's this? For Balatro Gaming. There are no particular switch ups to this rule set, right?
Yes, this is the traditional white stake ranked tournament.
All right. So, buckle up, boys and girls, and especially if you're if you're in the chat, figuring out how this Balato multiplayer shenaniganery works. This is actually the perfect time to pop in. I do allow me to catch up. Did we see any crazy meta plays in the past few games?
Let's see. Well, last game we had let's see. So Not was sporting the 8-ball, didn't really get any taros out of it, but it was good for content. We saw 2 games from Nightmare. Nightmare always doing their signature drawings as they go. And then that had a 4 Baron game with the copies, so that was very interesting to watch. And then we also
Excuse me.
had 4 Barons.
4 barons? No shot? Actual 4 barons?
I guess 2 were true Barons, and then there was a Blueprint and a Brainstorm, but that is
Okay.
definitely a rare game.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. That makes a lot more sense.
And then,
yeah.
unfortunately, in the second game, we had Strawberry, who had a game crash, but they were off to such a great start with 2 blueprints off a rare skip and an onk, and then just to get shut down by a game crash was unfortunate.
Oh, that is completely unfortunate. Oh no. But then were they able to restart the game?
No, it was literally right after the second ante, which, as we know, that is the cutoff time for being disqualified.
Oh god, that's horrible. Oh man. Oh man, that my stomach literally did like a squish when you said that. Oh man, I hope that doesn't break strawberry spirits.
That's right. Balance, for your information, Strawberry crashed in the second game after getting 2 blueprints over their opponent.
And then we switch to Nightmare.
Ugh.
Alright, the game
Oh
begins.
no.
Here we go.
All
Shadow
right.
versus Not.
Interesting. Blue steak. Not blue steak. Oops. Blue what?
Is it
Okay, wait.
not
Did
the
we
deck?
had just?
That's not the deck.
Is that not the right deck?
It's yellow.
Okay.
Yellow deck.
Rocco was so disappointed
Honestly,
no
I
matter
would've
what,
been
so
okay.
yeah.
I would have been okay either way with blue deck or yellow deck, but interestingly enough, we have a voucher skip on the first blind. Normally on like truly vanilla Balato, that would be pretty good to get, but then both players decide to skip it this round.
Would be hard to give up on that interest from Yellow Deck, but it could pay off potentially if you get an overstock or a reroll voucher that wouldn't otherwise be in the shop, but that is a bit of a gambit. We will see what shows up in this first shop.
Exactly. And it looks like we got Mary Andy in the shop.
One of my favorite jokers personally. I think it is a bit slept on, but it would be a bit speculative at this point. We're hoping to get
It's not better.
Some sort
Actually, it is
of
better.
econ joker like Faceless or like delayed gratification.
It is slightly better, but then there is a very, very, very slight delay on our end, but then that's okay, as we are also ready with the stream, and it looks like Not picked up a vampire to sell right after, which is okay. Sometimes we need to cycle our we need to cycle our jokers just to get over the interest. But Shadow, interestingly, picking up the three of a kind. I forget what the flush card is. It's not the family, definitely, but also
Why would
tribe.
Joker the
but
tribe?
also picks up the tribe. Thank you, and picks up an acrobat and a photo in the shop. Looks like we are going for flushes in this game.
Not having quite a bit of an econ advantage, taking the Mega Standard. It looks like we see a blue seal. I would definitely be taking that. And then the gold seals might be a bit dubious for fattening up your deck. We'll see what Not ends up taking.
Exactly, but I'm pretty sure it is not going to be a bad decision.
Not even a
No,
blue
that was a
seal.
bad decision. They skipped it.
I put trust
That's
in
a good
Not.
choice.
I've been beaten by Not enough to trust their decision, but personally I would have taken that blue seal.
Well, that's true. But then, actually, as we were commentating, I don't think someone in the chat noticed that Not actually lost a life.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what blind that happened. But
Uh,
I guess it had to
I'm
have
pretty
been
sure.
big blind.
Yeah, pretty sure. I think it was big blind. It looked like I'm not sure if Not was trying to like greed for a little bit more for the jokers or just risk it all. Or maybe just find a way, or maybe just trying to get a little more money before the first PvP.
Well, Shadow is all set for this PvP with the hack, the acrobat. Now that the hack doesn't necessarily synergize too well with the photo without like a Fibonacci or without a Pareidolia, but it is a bit speculative. You know, if a Bloodstone shows up, if something retriggerable shows up, that would definitely be a good thing to have. I'm pretty sure Not will pick it up as well.
At this point, it seems that Not is going to be slightly ahead of in the shops if they still choose to roll. What's this? If they still choose to roll according, but
Not
they do
taking the
not.
hack. Wow.
Not is not taking the hat. I mean hack. Oh my god. But
A bit
I
dubious.
I honestly do not mind the decision, given that they're still in big blind. They could be getting something. They could be like looking for something in particular. We don't entirely know. But then we see an
Ooh, a flush
immediate and again
5.
immediate flush 5. Ooh,
Now that is
maybe.
enough to carry.
Yeah, maybe the what's this? Maybe the one life throw might be a little worth it after all.
A gold king
Not
looking tempting, but not enough.
not enough.
Not
It's
enough.
not enough for Not. But then in terms of actual scoring, it actually looks like that Shadow may have the advantage here if they pull out the right cards. But then at the same time, Shadow still has a lot of flexibility because of the three of a kind chip Joker. So it could go anywhere and anywhere this time. Not, on the other hand, has to make sure that they have to play the flush 5 as
Ooh,
their
not saving
last
it for.
hand.
Oh. Shadow did not save it for their acrobat hand. I'm a bit shocked by that. Having that on the acrobat hand would have given 45,000 chips as opposed to the 16,000.
Yeah. Well, honestly, with that slight misplay, that may actually cost Shadow the
And it
game
does cost the difference. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
with at least around double the score, give or take, or at least at least Shadow only hitting 60% of that. And looks like we have a sixth sense in the shop. Oh god, if you try saying that 10 times fast, I cannot even. Oops.
Couldn't myself either, but I love a good Sixth Sense. You could see some great cards, especially looking for a red seal to synergize with that photograph.
Mm-hmm. Not looking for those sixes, finds one in their last discard. Let's see what they get. A hex. Huh. That is a and a half.
If anything, it will block for Hex, but not the best thing you want to see there. No pun
But,
intended.
even though it's not the best thing you want to see, especially since like it's you gotta get rid of your other jokers because they're all gonna be deleted by the end of like by the time that you use the hex. So looks like Not has a lot of decisions to make. Shadow, on the other hand, still being pretty consistent with their deck choices. I thinking if they're going to give up the hack, but they don't. Getting that temperance value as well.
Ooh,
Oh, looks like we have an invisible
Joker.
Joker in the shop.
They are both in the same spot in the shop right now.
Ooh, interestingly enough, Shadow taking that trio, which will also add a little more if they still continue to play around with the flushes. Or the
Let's see
flush
if Not
five.
draws the 6 or let's see, one more discard to draw the 6.
Would you have picked up that? Oh wait, hold. Wait, Shadow thinking about selling off the tribe and does for the invisible Joker. I think that's honestly a correct play.
Ooh, but not the tribe had a foil on it, and instead of selling the 3 of a kind, I think that selling the 3 of a kind might have just helped out that score a little more.
I guess, but then being locked to like a ×2 flush might not be as effective compared to say having just three of a kinds. So looking at the build, looking at their deck facing, they're not as it's not as fixed as Not's deck. So maybe they're thinking along those lines.
Definitely.
Oh,
we see
but
Campfire.
Campfire Gaming. This is the card that you wanted to see last week during Bad Lotro, but then not a lot of that showed up yet.
Unfortunate. Now, I wonder what Shadow will end up using the Invisible Joker on, or how long they'll hold on to it. You know, you could wait until you see Bloodstone, Idle, or you could just spend it on a photograph. But definitely don't want to sell it too early. Now, I'm surprised Shadow didn't pick up that Sixth Sense. The Sixth Sense is just being such a strong way to generate spectrals, which you don't see on non-ghost decks.
Exactly. Well, I do understand why they didn't choose to pick up the Sixth Sense, given that given now that we see that they're playing more into Three of a Kind. But at the same time, in Bellotto, it's really a game of choices. It's either you really stick to the deck or the current thing that you're building, or you risk it all. Looks like Shadow did not want to really take that risk at this point of time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Not is able to get some value out of it. So far, not getting any kind of game-winning spectral like the Red Seal would be. Only having a couple 6s left. Ooh, is that a soul? Ooh,
that is a soul
imagine
card.
That crib. Oh, we got Perkio. We could have a double Perkio game. Not has a huge decision to make.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. So, given the current setup right now, I think this is Not's game to lose, especially since they already do have that blue seal and they're leaning towards those flush fives, which could be incredibly exponentially gaming here. However, Not still figuring out if looks like we are getting double Chad, which
right.
I'm
with the seltzer.
Not mad about, honestly. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. If I got both Perkio or the Chad, I think I'd be happy with either, because The problem is with Hercule, it only goes off if you have observatory, and I doubt that we saw any what's this? I doubt that we saw any telescope vouchers in the shops unless I am completely blind.
Not yet. You would be correct. The thing we would be looking for is likely a hermit card to be copied. Getting that extra $20 is one of the strongest econ jokers possible. But that times 8 from the Seltzer is going to be really good. I mean, we could also see this
Exactly.
copying planet cards, but looks
Mhm.
like
Shadow's invisible Joker hitting the trio, which they were decided like, you know what? Nah, I'm just gonna feed that to the campfire and make more s'mores. That
right.
and oh, that's perfect because trio is 3 things. You have 2 graham crackers and something in the middle. Anyway,
Couldn't have said it better myself. And we see the polychrome showing up for Not.
ooh, we love to see polychromes in this chat. Also, negative Mars looking like a lemon for some reason. I don't know.
Is
That's
that
just
a times? I see a ×3 campfire for Shadow. Can the econ provided by Perkeo potentially feed that campfire even further?
the question. Well, actually, now that you mention it, Shadow does have a play. Like they can basically grab a random tarot card or a random what's this?
Ooh,
There we
there's a
go.
hermit.
There's a
I
hermit
love it.
and there's a fool. Yummy. That is
That is
absolutely.
$60.
But okay, if I were Shadow in this point, like this is literally a money copying machine, which they also choose to basically like rip off in the end, or at least while waiting. And they've got a lot of potential to just print negative copies and just sell them. If Shadow capitalizes on that, I think this is game.
I can only wonder how many seltzer procs they have left after a few rounds, and once that's gone away, I think that'll be a huge detriment to Not unless they can find more retriggers, and both of those photos will turn back to ×2s.
Oh, and not immediately changing every
Ooh.
their holographic their polychrome in it polychrome, I don't forget if it was steel or gold, but then that is juicy with the seltzer, literally giving around like 4 or 5 times the score that Shadow has. The mental math is mathing.
So Shadow will need to get that campfire VP because
So let's
they're down
yeah,
to
go
one
ahead,
life.
sorry.
Oh, because they're down to one life.
Oh my, this is actually a pretty quick game on to be completely honest. So the question that we have is, will Not still continue their completely amazing duck fixing, or will Shadow find a way to literally burn the house down with the campfire?
So much money being generated from those hermits, so let's go gambling. but Shadow running out of time on that seltzer.
Which one is which one's ahead of the shop? Not or Shadow?
I want to say Shadow, but I haven't been tracking it too closely.
Okay, that's interesting because we can potentially, because in order for Shadow to really win this, they'd better it's either they find something in the shop that Not doesn't have, or
Oh,
they
what?
just
Oh,
oop.
Shadow dies to a
Oh no!
blind.
Oh well,
I guess the
that is
campfire was
very.
not scaled enough.
Yeah, it was that was so anti what's this? That was so anticlimactic. But then looks like we have our winner for the semifinals with us with a Dwayne the Rock Johnson Stone card. We have not going into the finals.
Very exciting.
Dang. Dang. Okay, to be fair, I was expecting a little more from Campfire as it really did it really did put like some kind of a showing. But then the power of the double photo in a flush 5 shenaniganery. Oh my god. Like nah, that's that's nothing. That is absolutely nothing.
Well, rip to Shadow and well played, Not. We will see who Not's going up against in the finals.
Mm-hmm. So, who is the other or what's this? What is happening in the other side of the
It
bracket?
just finished, it looks like.
Is happening on the other side of the bracket.
I have no idea if you can hear me.
And
Right.
I actually remembered to actually click spectate this time, so I can kind of see what's
Looks like it's a GG. Yeah,
happening.
they have
Results,
finished.
participants.
I can hear
Hello,
you.
we can hear you.
Okay, good. I have no idea how much of a delay there is. Okay.
All right.
Um. It's Hutrix
All right, but
on the final game.
Hutrix versus Not. Didn't Hutrix go by like the King of Nothing? There we go. There we go.
Right.
Come on, let me just
The King of
My two-
Nothing versus Not.
do this.
The battle of the nothings for this game.
Lit-
Oh, good absolute Christ.
Literally, my two bracket demons facing off against each other. This is going to be interesting. Two very strong players.
Okay, this is the second
looks
time.
like
Surprise.
Okay, this is the second time in a row we are having the finals within the same team.
oh, these are
They are both in red
Are-
ramen.
Red Ramen.
Ooh, we love spicy ramen in this chat.
That's right.
And it's gonna be interesting having two teammates what's this set up against each other, but then at the same time, honestly, if anyone is a Red Ramen fan in this chat, I don't think we're gonna be complaining. There's no complaining here.
Yo, screw the box.
Speaking of spicy, yes. Screw the box.
Screw
Speaking
the box.
of, speaking of, on the thematic topic, Spicy, do you like ramen?
Oh, I ate nothing but ramen back in 8th grade. So I was about 14 at the time. I would have about 2 packs a day. Not great for my health or my sodium intake. But Queen Chi, I have to ask, are you a kimchi fan?
Oh my god, I love Korean food. I screw this box. Yes. Anyway, so I do love kimchi. Korean food is like one of my absolute favorite cuisines. Like ever. I literally just had kimchi a few days ago, and I just treated myself to a whole Korean dinner. Ramen is honest one of my second favorites as well. So anything under like the Japanese bracket is so good. Asian food is hella good.
You could say
Black.
that again. Have you ever tried making your own kimchi?
My own kimchi? I have
know
never
some people
made.
make it at home.
Black.
Well, I've never made my own kimchi. I wish I had time. I wish I had time to make my own food, which with my new job, like I still have to find like that rhythm. So, there's that. But yeah, looks like we are going to play on Ghost Deck, on White Stake, a favorite in the multiplayer scene. Speaking of multiplayer scene, did anyone in the chat and also in and did you guys watch the recent well, not the recent, well technically it is, the finals of Major League Balatro?
All right, there we go.
I have to say, I tuned into the Dr. Spectre versus Raffle game, and we saw Dr. Spectre put the sun on the wrong card, and it cost him the game. That was quite a shocker.
Oh, for that one I think I fell asleep. But then I caught the finals versus Edzi, and oh boy, that was a thing and a half. But another thing of and a half is the game is starting. This is our finals with King of Nothing versus Not, both Red Ramen legends. But let's see which Red Ramen legend will
On
come
the black deck, you see a lot of people losing blinds on the black deck. If it's not one that you practice, you just need to find an early plus molt and hope for the best.
Oh my god, wait, I didn't notice the change to black deck. This is high tier multiplayer Balatro gaming because
Oh man.
Okay, chat, I'm gonna ask for some audience participation here. Hit one in the chat if you do not like black deck.
I'm smashing one.
I
in the
hate
chat.
black deck so much.
I think here, so this is a very interesting situation where, in my opinion, giving you 1.5 times dominance in the shop, but if you take it, you are going to really struggle on this boss blind.
Honestly, like if I had another joker to sell or something to like grab just so that I can get a little bit of extra mult, that would be totally okay for me just to make it past. Cause I would take a round one my floss just so that I can see an extra joker in the shop. But then at the same time, it is black deck. You will never know. Egon is incredibly hard
Ooh.
to get in this game.
Not risking it all for the overstock voucher. I have to agree with that play. Personally, I would give up a life if needed for that overstock voucher, but it can cost you on black deck.
Exactly. But then finding that on the first ante is not too horrible. Maybe both players might be able to make something out of it, or maybe they might have the same strategy. So technically, you might be playing 3 lives versus 3 lives to just start everything. But it seems like Hutrix, aka King of Nothing, is taking their sweet time as Not makes it out completely unscathed.
Incredible. King of Nothing may even be stalling for the penny pincher value, as the longer you wait, the further your opponent gets an econ.
Yeah, and with the new and with one of the new what's this, the updates or quote-unquote hot fixes, I guess, for this patch, instead of gaining penny pincher right as you come in, the might work here, but then the longer you stall, the more likely you get timered.
Yes, that's right. And on black deck, you need to make sure that you take your time to really play the best hands possible. So that could end up hurting King of Nothing if they have to rush all the way through to the PvP.
King of Nothing kind of frustrated as they don't have the jack to complete their straight,
Oh
nor do they
no.
have nor do they have any card to build a flush. So that is going to be a life loss right there.
Oof. You hate to see it, losing a life to just a
To the big
handful of
blind
chips.
of all things.
Has enough to grab that overstock voucher, but that could cost him her life on the boss blind.
So it's either you take the overstock and you just continue playing and hopefully you get something with the Arcana pack, or you break open the Arcana pack and hope for something good, maybe like a hermit or something, or even a temperance at this point, because
I think,
starting
yeah.
off, starting off with a black deck can be incredibly brutal for your economy, even on white stake.
Me personally, I'm ripping open that Arcana pack, hoping for an Empress, hoping for lucky, just anything to give me a little bit of an edge in this boss blind. But King of Nothing going confident into it.
Well, to be fair, Not was able to find their way out of the blind without having to lose a life. So it looks like so there is a so King of Nothing could potentially make it out unscathed. Not on the other hand, picking up that green Joker, which will help with the which will help with the blinds and the scoring. But hitting that timer looks like King of Nothing has a little bit of speeding up to do.
Green Joker being the best plus molt is quite daunting on Black Deck. You really need something a little bit better. Personally, I'm not a big Green Joker fan. I'd almost rather have a ceremonial dagger at that point.
However, Green Joker is just there for the short term, unless unless you can't find any other Jokers, because what else are you going to cut off if you don't have money to spend for your other Jokers?
For sure. I mean, King of Nothing might lock in this PvP just with one other Joker.
Exactly. Looking at I'm not entirely sure if since Not doesn't have the Joker view. I forget what it's called there. I'm not entirely sure how this could be what's this a difference in their play, whether and a difference in their score as well. King of Nothing also picking up the To the Moon, which I think I personally would have done. I would take a life loss if I didn't lose a life, so that I can get more money or more interest in future blinds. That's the thing with a black deck. It's kind of hard to get started. King of Nothing getting
to the Penny Pincher stalling, in addition to having that life lost, actually might here and tie the score.
Okay. All right. So we had a stream crash, but then if you guys are still around, that's completely fine. Just refresh your screen if y'all can hear me. As what's this? As we have the first PvP blind, and looks like Hutrix, aka King of Nothing, is literally playing with a complete roster of Jokers and a banana. Banana in this still around. Okay, looks like what's this? The lag is incredibly lagging, so we may need to do a recap for the rest of the rest.
Nothing, both at 3 lives on Black Deck.
I can hear my computer just
King of